Mos Def in New York. A really posh hotel, and actually I'm kind of shitting myself. I mean, he's a bit of a hero of mine, so I'm really fucking nervous. But at the same time, I'm sure I'll really enjoy it. I got a book for him from Dave Zarian, so he's a big fan as well. So. Thanks. You're saying how great would it have been if we had Dave Zarian with his 2 shirts, and he had like a couple of stains on. He's been looking after his kids, and in the evening he came when we arrived. He's like came out with 2 other shirts, and they're exactly the same but in different colours. Which one for the interview? You just picture the whole wardrobe with the same shirt over and over.
How are you? Good to see you.
Well,
This is Will.
nice to meet you. How are you?
Happy? And that's, we're filming the whole time.
We'll just keep coming and
501, yeah?
501, yeah.
501.
I have the same problem all the time.
Yeah, right?
It's nice.
So I guess we should have enough room. Yeah.
This gives me a good chance to calm down a little bit. I was getting a bit saying. It'll be fun, I'm sure, once it starts. We rap together. Sports and politics writer.
Oh yeah?
He wanted us to get that team.
Oh cool. Yeah, this is my favorite guy.
He's damn cool.
You can't raise the issue of global poverty without addressing the issue of poverty in America.
Of course.
Because there's no place on earth where poverty is so displaced. I mean,
So the difference is so
there
large.
shouldn't be any poverty in
Absolutely.
the nation with this resource and this type of development. And to go to these sort of far-flung regions of Africa and the rest of the world, I think is well-intentioned, but it's a bit
Why go so far when you
Why
can
go
be
so
close?
far when you know what I mean?
You just walk down the street.
Think globally, act locally. I mean, you don't have to go to Africa to see loads of poor Africans.
Yeah.
You can go to any ghetto, right, in America, and there are poor Africans everywhere. Originally, the idea was to storm the red carpet. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna wait for him. I'm just gonna go. And they kind of look for these like unforgettable red carpet moments. I was like, this would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I got this rig, and I figured we'll roll up to the VMAs and just kind of tell the truth,
Yeah.
and raise the issue that nobody's raising. There are loads of these artists that are from Texas and Atlanta, all of these places, and their music comes from communities that are New Orleans in composition and attitude and all of that. And nobody was saying anything, so I was like, we have to just go storm the gate. And we parked right in front of Radio City, and we dropped the bed. I started to perform the song, and as it's going on, the police are kind of like thinking this is another element of the show.
Yeah.
And then as it starts to become clear that it's not, then they rushed us. The arrest part of it was where I was like, okay, now you're just getting crazy. It's one thing to shut me down and to give me a citation, and I showed you guys my permit, but it's another thing to arrest me.
Yeah.
What exactly are you arresting me for?
Yeah.
And then they won't even admit that me and my crew were arrested. They say that we weren't arrested, we were taken into custody.
Yeah. In handcuffs.
In handcuffs. I really was arrested. You arrested me. And even though I didn't spend the night in jail, I was processed as if I had committed a serious criminal offense. And furthermore, they were trying to find other things on me. Like, do you guys have any outstanding warrants? They even got down so low as to say, you don't have any ID on you. So we may have to keep you overnight.
Oh, what?
Because you don't have sufficient ID. So how can we be sure that you are who you say you are? Mind you, I'm on TV.
Yeah.
And you know, like you know exactly who I am.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
You just pose for pictures with me.
You just put a picture of me, but you know, we're not sure you are who you say you are because you don't have identification. Just these types of, so really the most interesting thing about that entire episode is that the way that the police mobilized on me was not, it was a reflex.
Mm.
It wasn't premeditated. It wasn't like this guy's an enemy of the state or he's a threat or that. It wasn't even focused on what I was even had to say. It was just that their response to any sort of dissent on an almost cellular, subconscious level is to suppress it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't even have to be thought about or considered.
It's almost instinctual.
It's instinctual.
Yeah.
And the other paradox of it is that the young officers who were arresting me were remorseful.
Yeah.
They didn't want to arrest me.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, most what are you out here doing? You gotta have oh man, what are you doing? You gotta have a permit. You don't want to get arrested. I was like, I have a permit. And it was just, it showed that policy is pervasive.
Yeah.
A year to the date, the trash is still sitting in the streets in New Orleans. And New Orleans just represents the routine mistreatment that poor people and black people have received in this country. And it all just came to a head in New Orleans. New Orleans is so jam-packed with hundreds and hundreds of years of inhumane regard.
Repression.
And even beyond repression, it's indifference. Casual indifference. You know, watch Bush and his family as they're walking through these shelters, and it's just kind of annoying that they have to even be there. This is drudgery for them. You know,
getting their feet dirty.
Yeah, it's not even getting their feet dirty. It's just like, oh, this is depressing.
Yeah.
To have to do this, it was just a hurricane. I mean, God, oh man. There's no sincere care there. It's completely perfunctory. It's not any real human investment. So, you know, I wish that I could say that there were other artists who, you know, there have been, but I just did what I felt was necessary to do.
Of course.
And I don't mind having been arrested. I mean, I'd like to have not gotten arrested.